Without wasting your time, we are going to share 12 psychological facts that you can easily apply in your daily life starting today. These facts will make your life easier, and once you learn them, you won't remain the same as before. Psychological fact number 12: feature positive effect. Have you ever noticed that when someone is in a relationship, they give a lot of importance to their partner in the beginning, but after some time, they start taking them for granted? However, as soon as their partner suddenly breaks up with them, they realize their true value. This doesn't happen only in relationships. For example, you probably don't think much about the importance of water until, for some reason, there is a water shortage at home, and you don't even have enough for basic needs like bathing or drinking. Then you suddenly realize, wow, just because there's no water, everything is so difficult. This is called the feature positive effect. It is a psychological concept that explains how humans naturally pay attention only to things that are directly in front of them while ignoring the things that are absent. For example, as long as our eyes and teeth are functioning properly, we don't notice them. But the moment we feel pain, we suddenly understand how important they are. Marketing and advertisements also use this psychological effect to influence decisions. They only highlight positive results so that your focus stays on the benefits while you ignore the negatives. This psychological fact influences our choices and sometimes forces us to make wrong decisions. Psychological fact number 11: food, sex and danger, the primitive priorities. Whether you consciously want it or not, your brain automatically pays attention to food, sex, and danger. Psychologist Susan Weinschenk explains in her book Neuro Web Design that this behavior comes from the oldest part of our brain, which is always in survival mode. After all, our main goal is to stay alive. That's why our brain is constantly scanning the environment and asking 3 psychological questions. Can this be eaten? Is sex possible with this? Can this harm me? Without food, we will die. Without reproduction, the human species will go extinct. If something is dangerous, we must stay away from it. Psychological fact number 10: the playing dumb effect. In his book Surrounded by Idiots, Thomas Erickson shares a story about Helena, a salesperson who had to close a deal with a rude and arrogant CEO. Helena met the CEO in a parking lot and, upon seeing his car, simply said, "Wow." Now, Helena had no interest in cars, but the CEO loved cars. So, he started talking about them passionately. Helena just listened attentively, and the CEO was so impressed by her focus that he signed the deal with her. This is called the playing dumb effect, a strategy we subconsciously use to get what we want. When you act less knowledgeable, you give others the opportunity to share their knowledge. This creates a good impression while also helping you learn new things. This psychological trick can take your conversation skills to the next level. Without even speaking much, the other person will feel comfortable and enjoy talking to you. Even famous conversation expert Dale Carnegie recommended this technique. Psychological fact number 9: provide a choice. There is a psychological trick that can influence people to make decisions in your favor. Whenever you want someone to make a choice that benefits you, give them limited options that indirectly work in your favor. For example, waiters in restaurants often mention specific dishes when taking orders. By doing this, they narrow down your options, and you subconsciously end up choosing from what they suggested. Big companies like Apple use this trick too. They release multiple versions of the same iPhone series so that customers feel like they have a choice. However, in reality, all choices lead to an Apple purchase. You can also use this psychological trick to influence decisions in your favor. Psychological fact number 8: the imposter syndrome. Do you ever feel like, even after doing my best, I could have done better? According to psychologists, highly intelligent people always think of themselves as average, while average people believe they are the smartest. This is called the imposter syndrome. It prevents people from recognizing their own strengths and weaknesses properly. For example, before exams, some students say, "I haven't studied anything." But later, they score high marks. They did study, but intelligent people always underestimate their preparation. On the other hand, some people overestimate themselves, proving the famous saying, "Fools are blind to their own foolishness." To overcome this effect, always keep learning and never assume that you already know everything. Psychological fact number 7: the Ben Franklin effect. If you want someone to like you, ask them for a small favor. This might sound strange, but the logic is simple. When someone does something for you, their brain justifies it by believing they must like you. For example, Benjamin Franklin once borrowed a book from his political rival instead of trying to impress him. The rival felt awkward but still gave him the book. Later, Franklin returned it with a thank you note. This small favor turned their rivalry into friendship. Psychological fact number 6: the mean world syndrome. Psychologist George Gerbner discovered that people who consume violent media start believing that the world is a dangerous place. For example, if someone watches too much crime news, they develop a negative perspective and think the world is full of criminals. On the other hand, those who watch comedy or fantasy content tend to have a more positive outlook on life. The content you consume daily shapes your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs. Psychological fact number 5: self-serving bias. The self-serving bias is when people take credit for success but blame others for failure. For example, if you make a profit in the stock market, you credit your investment skills. But if you lose money, you blame the market. This bias prevents personal growth because you don't learn from your mistakes. To grow, be honest with yourself, accept mistakes, and learn from feedback. Psychological fact number 4: the Duchenne smile. There are 9 types of smiles, but the Duchenne smile is considered the most genuine and powerful. Unlike fake smiles, the Duchenne smile involves lifting of the cheeks, wrinkles around the eyes, and natural glow in the eyes. This smile makes you appear trustworthy, friendly, and sincere. Psychological fact number 3: the paradox of choice. If you go to a shoe store with too many options, you may feel excited at first, but later, you will feel stressed about choosing the right one. This is called the paradox of choice. Psychologist Barry Schwartz explains that having too many choices leads to anxiety rather than happiness. Psychological fact number 2: the Pygmalion effect. Have you ever noticed that when someone believes in you, you feel more confident and perform better? This happens due to the Pygmalion effect, a psychological phenomenon where high expectations lead to improved performance. For example, if a teacher expects a student to excel in studies, that student is likely to put in more effort and actually perform better. Similarly, if you start believing in yourself, your confidence and abilities will automatically improve. This is why self-motivation and surrounding yourself with supportive people can make a huge difference in your success. Psychological fact number 1: the law of attraction. Have you ever thought about something, and then it actually happened? This is due to the law of attraction, a psychological concept that states, whatever you focus on, you attract into your life. For example, if you constantly think negatively, your mind will notice more negative things around you. If you focus on opportunities and positivity, your brain will find ways to create success. Your thoughts shape your reality, so it's important to focus on your goals, strengths, and possibilities instead of doubts and fears. Final thoughts: by understanding these 12 psychological facts, you can improve your daily life, decision-making, relationships, and confidence. The more aware you are of how the human mind works, the easier it becomes to control your thoughts, emotions, and actions. Which psychological fact did you find the most interesting? Let me know.